And welcome back to another Wonky Quartet collaboration. I'm Farfa with Dada and Mama and Gaga. We're here for a little something different today. The prompt this time is tier list, actually. And so what we're going to be doing is rating people, human beings. Yes, a person tier list.
Hypothetical human beings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not really shocking to me. I do this all the time.
Where would you put me, Joseph? What tier am I?
That depends. Am I getting paid for this video, or... You know what, Farfa? I think I would put you fourth.
Oh,
the fourth
classic. Dude, like, it's so predictable.
I mean, is it wrong?
Wait a minute. By the way, you introduced us. Am I Mama?
What are you, Fafa?
Yeah, that's the first letter of your name, right?
The first letter of my name is J.
This is like how a baby names its grandparent, but yeah.
Yeah, Joseph is ja, bro.
Joseph, come to Brazil!
So what we're going to be doing is analyzing various archetypes of people that you see at YCSs or locals or whatever. And we're going to be putting them on this tier list here. At the GOAT, W, harmless, kind of cringe, I don't like you. And Danny's favorite tier, of course, the Wood tier. So,
I will not have this revisionist history. Woods is a Peeps joke.
Oh, I'm sorry, peeps. I apologize. How can I...
He mixes you white people up. I mean, it's confusing.
Yeah, we're all the same to him. Is that what I'm hearing, huh?
So disrespectful to my replacement on MasterChef as well. It's really unfortunate.
See, that's why you're fourth
Yeah.
fa. That's why you're fourth fa.
Oh, shut up, dude! Don't make me bring up the pack dash. Right? Wait, no, you're the one who's doing fine. Doug's the one who's never mind.
Let's just rate some people.
All right,
Let's judge.
only plays Maxx Rarity. Thoughts, Gage.
Oh, I think that's a W, bro. I'm a W
This is a
human
W.
being as well. That's a W. I think that shows that somebody's really passionate about the game they play, and they just like the cards. That's at least what I think. That's a W for me.
I think it's cringe. I'll be honest with you. I think it's cringe. Yep.
Cringe?
Yeah, you're like hollowing out like your Yu-Gi-Oh deck. It's like, you know those people who drive really fast down the street on like 20-mile zones with like those giant like exhausts that just go, you know? That's like the only Maxx Rarity It's fine to have some Maxx Rarity, but if
My cards aren't polluting the earth though, bro. Like, I'm not harming anybody by
Yeah.
having really nice cardboard. Like,
I'm not trying to bring climate
Maxx
change
Rarity is
into
just
this.
driving a nice car, not like reckless driving necessarily.
yeah, reckless driving is different.
Yeah.
Like,
Didn't we talk about this in one of the drama times though? I think we realized that like this is Maxx Rarity is less popular outside of the States, because I would also say like W. Like I think like I remember when I first started playing Pokemon TCG a few years ago, and like, you know, I went to the guy at Locals that had Maxx Rarity cards because I knew he would know what was up, you know?
actually, I think the exact opposite is kind of cringe, and I know somebody in this chat that does exactly that.
Well, Gage hates poor people.
The exact
So
opposite.
I mean,
There's this guy.
That's
there's
another-
this guy.
No.
MBT. There's this guy MBT that has a full Tengu deck of literally the worst rarities I've ever seen.
who cares?
Platinum.
He plays it for that
But
one
again,
3
that's kinda
turns.
cringe.
Like,
It's
Like, you must
another
hate
side.
yourself.
It's
When-
another side of the same coin.
Okay, when you say worst
Right?
rarity, do you mean lowest or just like mix, match, and random?
No,
Like mixed
intentionally
match
bad.
rare. Like intentionally bad. yeah.
Oh.
The
like
the
platinum and
situation
stuff
that
or
he's
something.
talking about is I've got a beautiful Katesith Chaos deck in which every gold card is gold and every plat card is plat. And
Okay, well,
I
you should
think
go to
that's
prison
fun
for
as-
that, I think, but-
Honestly, like, here's my position on this and the same position on the Maxx Rarity thing. I think setting these little individual challenges for yourself in deck construction and like deck building, it's a fun way to feel engaged with the cardboard instead of just, oh, I'm playing the cards that everyone knows. are
What's
good.
the
Like,
challenge?
I
Get
like it. I
money?
think it's fun.
What's the challenge?
play your
Well, the challenge-
expression. I mean, talk
Yeah,
about Gage,
yeah.
he's been assembling his Maxx Rarity Edison deck for the last 5 years, and you meet people, you make trades here and there.
If you're
like,
just
yes,
buying
it
them
does show
offline,
money.
that's frustrating, but it is a fun way to be like, okay, so because I want to be maxing out X, every time I see X, I'll in a binder or a vendor, that's an opportunity for me to get involved in a trade that I otherwise wouldn't be interested in. I think
Maybe
it's
I'm
I think
too.
it's really cool.
Maybe I'm too old for this, but if I want something, I'm gonna
You
buy
are.
it. So if you want to buy Maxx Rarity, go buy Maxx Rarity. Why? It's
I don't know. For me, like some of the collectibles, like some of the big stuff that I have, there's like stories tied to those collectibles.
okay.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Cool.
That's
Like-
that's
like,
nice.
You can't just like it is easy. you could theoretically go get a Caius Ultimate Rare on TCG Player and play like $500, but maybe you make a new friend trying to strike a deal with somebody, and maybe you make them happy by trading something that they've always wanted to, right? It's fun. I think that's like Joseph said.
Or
it's a
maybe
fun
you
way
just
to
want to
interact with
flex
cards.
your bank account, which
Yep.
is totally valid.
That's kinda how I
Either
see
way,
it.
I think it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
W.
I think it's a W.
I'd say
I'm putting
harmless
it in
or kind of
W, yeah.
cringe, but fine. I guess
Looks
I'm
cool.
outvoted on this. All right,
Fuck you,
posts
done.
Master Duel memes.
I don't like you. I don't like you.
I'm not a fan if they post it to a particular subreddit. I throw
All right.
a little Master Duel meme
Let-
here and there on the Twitter page, but
Okay,
I don't
but
go anywhere near
the-
that subreddit.
Listen, the best poster here in this chat is Doug, right? Where would you put Doug, right? You would put him in GOAT, right? Like, you're not gonna put
I would
him.
put,
Do
yeah,
I
I would
even-
put him in goated.
I don't know if I'm a meme poster. I just post about
What?
life
Yeah, that's the thing.
experiences.
What Doug does is he'll take like a funny thing people are talking about on Twitter, and then he'll change the words to be about Yu-Gi-Oh, and then like that. I like that a lot. I think it's really funny. But I will also say that is totally different than posting a picture of angry SpongeBob and being like, grr, when my wife leave me. Like,
Yeah, you won't find a lot of Marvel.
Wait, whoa,
on
where's
my
the?
page.
That's not a Yu-Gi-Oh meme, unless. All right, Gage, where's Master Duel memes?
Why are you asking me again, bro? Go to somebody else.
I think
would
it's
put
harmless. I think it's
Master Duel-
harmless. Who cares? Like
I-
people
I
like
think-
the
I think
game.
it's
There,
kinda
that's how they
cringe.
interact
I
with the
think
game.
it's,
Kinda
at
cringe.
minimum, I think it's kind of cringe.
Nah, you're wrong. It's harmless, at least.
It's harmless.
Well, it might be like a half step there. Depends on
he's
how.
required to put it in
they are.
harmless because it's part of his, salary.
I was
He's
gonna
gotta
say, yeah,
react
you
to-
laugh at Pop the Baby every goddamn day,
Yeah.
and a big surprise you think
His
it's
standards
harmless.
are pretty low.
The grenade. Did you guys see the Konami baby Ceratosaurus reference?
Oh, I saw it. Yeah,
that was
dude.
fun.
did, yeah.
That was fun. By the way, the Konami person, if you're watching this, you're doing a bang-up job. Keep it up.
Bad at the game, but good vibes.
I love this
That's
kind
a-
of person.
that's a
This
goat.
is a goat. This is a
That's
goat.
a goat.
yeah.
I don't know
That's
if
a
it's GOAT tier, but it's a W.
W
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I don't know. I think it's a GOAT tier because it takes a particular person to like know you're bad at something, right? But just go because you enjoy it. That is a special kind of person, bro. That you're willingly going to. Get
Yeah,
your
I show
ass
up to
kicked by
Pack
local
Dash every week.
yeah, see,
And
and
I-
Doug, he's got a smile on his face every week. We kick his ass. That's a goat right there.
All right, well,
I don't know, I think
I
it's a
think
strong
like W, but
conversely, what about, like Joseph, right? Like good, but bad vibes.
good, bad.
That's
vibes.
like I would say one of the worst things you can be is good with bad vibes.
Yeah, isn't
but-
that like
Yeah.
the
I will-
majority of pro players? Like, don't they?
Yeah,
fit
I
under
will
that
say
bill?
I will go to bat for myself here. I am a joy to play against. With
Yeah, you
very
don't have
few
bad
exceptions,
vibes.
every game I play, I'm laughing. We're having a great time. Like I
Well,
enjoy playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Joseph, the
As long
bottom
as you're
tables are
winning.
always a good time. You're not gonna have bad vibes at the bottom tables. Genuinely, I'm not.
yeah, you
I'm
don't
not
think
being
I am.
toxic.
You,
that's not true,
I know,
dude. I've seen some really
I know you
salty
haven't entered a
table
tournament
500
for the last 10 years, but I'm not terrible at this game.
What a money match for you right now. We're 3 categories. in,
Yes!
we're already
Oh my
beefing.
God! Please!
You-
I'd feel bad taking money out of your kid's mouth, but hey, I'll do it. Why don't you load up with Beatriceless BA and we'll see who wins?
Good at the game, but never complains.
That's
I
a
actually
W.
don't like this. Like what? You have no opinions whatsoever?
You're an empty
What?
vessel.
Like,
Yeah,
of
you're not a big
competitive
centrist
gameplay.
person, are you? That makes sense.
Not to be like a toxic positivity guy, but there are some people I know who are not bad at Yu-Gi-Oh, but all the time like someone will be like, this thing that's like causing a tier 0 format is a little exhausting, and they're like, bro, if you don't like this game, why don't you just go play something else? Sorry for enjoying it. I just like I wish people would just be like, yeah, that kind of sucks.
Funny
I
how
hate
you
to admit it, but I
participate in
agree.
society and yet want it changed.
Curious, the light sworn dominion.
And
think
we all
this
know
is
there's very few. I will say there's very few people like this, so it's a very small sample size. But every time, I'm like, "Who sure wish X was gone," or like, "Oh, sure wish X play pattern wasn't well represented," and they're like, "Why don't you just go play Pokemon then?" Some of us like Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's like, all right, okay.
All right, Doug, Gage, what do you guys think? I hate to
Yeah, I
admit
mean,
it,
I'll
I
say
agree with
they're a little-
Joseph.
little
I don't
gray.
like
I
it.
think there's a lot of reasons to complain about the game, but I do admire people that just like they realize that it is a pastime, like a hobby, and they're like, I'm here to have a good time, right? Like you go with the good and the bad. I think there are reasons to be passionate about it and complain you want better, but I think it's a huge W that you are just there to have fun and you know why you're like there. you're good.
Maybe
right?
we should have all had
No,
our own
but
tier
these people,
lists. And
these
compared
people
them.
aren't there to have fun. They're good at the game. This isn't like
Okay.
a locals player that's like, oh, it is what it is, and like goes
You know those
2-2
things
every
can
week. This is someone
intersect,
who like
Joseph,
wins.
right?
Yeah, you can be good at the game and have fun.
Whoa, hey, I agree, but there's a difference between they come to have fun, they know it's a hobby, they don't put too much stock into it, so they're not super invested, and they are capital G good at the game. This is someone who's really, really
I thought you were
invested
making a
in
reference to
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mega Capital G. Sorry.
No,
That
this
was
is
a
someone
whiplash.
who's really, really good at Yu-Gi-Oh! And like won't complain under any circumstances.
All right, Doug, you're the what's the word? Decider between this one.
Tiebreaker?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like we've
cyber.
created like 6 different people out of this one little prompt. I would put them some. I mean, it depends on what type of people. I would say like that's harmless. Like they're just going with the
just throwing
flow
a
type
harmless.
person.
Yeah,
I could
whatever.
go with harmless. I'll meet
Okay,
there.
let's
I'll
do
meet
it.
there.
New deck every single week.
I love it. I have no problem with these people.
Do they know how to play it?
That's the thing. So when I started playing, I basically drained all of my student loan money into Yu-Gi-Oh! So I was just picking up a new deck every week. I'd play Dragons, I'd play Madolche, I'd play Evil Sword. I'd just show up with a new deck every week. And at a point, it's like, come on, you gotta like learn something, right? You gotta like stick.
How does it feel that you've now paid like 50% interest on those decks? Was that worth it?
Well, actually, not to get too political, but British student loans specifically are tied to inflation, so the interest rate is actually very low. And
Well, it
Yeah, why don't
must
you
be
keep
nice.
rubbing it in, asshole.
what's your
must be
wait?
nice.
What's the interest rate on your guys' loan? Is it like just? Like
I don't know. They
30%?
just send me a big middle finger every month and say, "Ha ha."
So
I'm
putting
still in
this-
school, so I ain't paying shit.
I'm saying harmless. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'll put 'em harmless.
It's not like W, is it? Like,
I don't think
No,
it's a
no.
W. I actually don't even think that. It's like a new deck every week. Like, okay, here's a follow-up question. Do they excitedly tell you about the pet deck strategy every time you sit across from them?
Ooh, that's
Well,
something
that's like a
else.
different type of person.
Because that's
pet
kind of
deck people
cringe, bro.
post
I
it.
don't care about what your ABC Nightmare tier 3 deck does. Like, you don't have to tell me about it. I will crush it every week. That's a W for me, but I don't want to hear about it. That's kind of cringe.
bold of you to
But
assume that.
I kind of think like you should, not that you should find a pet deck, but you should definitely like learn something. Like you said, was that you that said that, Farfa? You're like, at some point you got to learn a deck
Yeah,
in and
yeah,
out.
yeah.
And a week time is not enough time to actually like understand fully how to play it.
I think this really depends on
Kinda
if
cringe.
they know the deck or not. So I feel like kind of cringe is kind of like a medium. I think if they know the deck or whatever, that's fine. That's just someone experimenting. But if they don't know what any deck is and then they never play it again, so they never learn what any deck does, that's pretty cringe. Yeah, that's really annoying.
Goes 0-4 every locals.
W,
I don't
they're
like
helping the prize support. Actually, GOAT, honestly.
Goat.
They're helping the prize support while, realizing they're never going to win. Like, I think these people keep the world going. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever played at those locals where it gets more and more competitive and these people leave. And then there's like 8 people and there's no prizes. So the people that show up every week, lose every game, they're goats in my mind.
They're contributing to the prize pool. They're buying product. They're buying drinks. They're keeping the LG.
Well, they have good
we don't know if
vibes
these guys,
usually,
we don't know if
like-
these guys do have good vibes though. It's a different person than the bad but good vibes, right? Like the bad but good vibes.
Yeah.
I think that's a person.
Well,
that goes
irrespective of
0-4.
the vibes, they're
But this
still
could be like a-
monetarily contributing, right?
Sure, yeah, but they could be like complaining every single round.
Yeah,
like,
so
why
I
did my
have
dark magician
I put
not
value
resolve?
in
Wah.
people beyond their utility. I'm
That's
sorry,
kinda
I
cringe.
apologize. Yeah, you're right. you
Sure.
got me.
All right, so where are you thinking, Joseph? Where are you putting this? I'm saying goat tier.
Oh, I don't really. I mean, I guess harmless. I don't really
I would
care.
say harmless. I wouldn't put him in.
Well,
goat.
W
I-
it is then. That's
W.
that's
it is,
it.
W.
it
All
is,
right, we'll
okay.
split the difference. W.
You'll want him in goat tier. Goat tier for losing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Someone has to do it, as I've learned in my shows.
Doug has learned from Saga Unpack that.
Okay, let's be chill about this next one because you might have 2 people in that might be that category. So let's chill.
Only plays Go and Edison.
Goat, as far
Well, this isn't-
goat.
This isn't fair because you are right now conflating. I would say probably Hitler with like a completely normal person.
Oh, so
If
it's
you
Go.
only play
Go
goat.
Go is the specific issue you have with this.
Yeah, if you only play Goat, that's a problem for me, I would say. But if you play Edison, what do I care?
Only
Well-
psychopaths play GOAT at this point. Like,
True,
let's be
true.
I'll one up you,
Kinda
Joseph.
cringe if you're
I
playing
think
Goat.
you are literally Hitler for only playing Edison.
Okay, well, you know.
Sorry,
you don't play
people like
anything,
playing
so who
good
cares?
formats with cool cards.
just because Burning Abyss isn't in Edison format doesn't make it a bad format.
That's
Because
so
it's not
true.
in the
It's
normal
crazy.
format either. Let's keep that in
Wait,
mind.
hold up. This is crazy, right? Because Gage basically only plays Edison. Doug basically only plays Edison. I play basically only Standard. Farfa plays nothing. So like, what do you want us to? What do you want us to say? Like,
That's true.
Instead of playing Edison, you should play fucking I don't know, Candy Crush. I don't.
Yeah, why do we care about this guy's opinion at all? He can't win on Master Chef. He can't win on
Yeah.
Master Duel.
Yeah.
He can't win, dude. He can't win at all. Why do we care what he says?
It's unethical to play Edison. Instead, you should be playing some series where Doug makes you spin a wheel. No, man.
I can't
Edison's
believe
great. It's
we're
a
ju-
wonderful format.
Unbelievable. I can't believe we're just televising murder. Like, this is insane.
You probably go to locals more often than I do, so I don't know about.
It's
but
crazy, right? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, EU's not gonna have a scene for long though, so he won't go. Don't worry.
Let me guess. Let me guess. W tier.
Yeah,
if you really
They're
these
harmless.
guys are
They're
great.
harmless.
I think it's a
God forbid that someone enjoy a good format.
Well, I play Pack Dash, so I don't know what you're talking about. I genuinely love Pack
Oh,
Dash.
we're great. Coming up to a great category.
Complains
Yeah,
but
fire up.
doesn't play.
Every
Is
person
there a
on
tier
Twitter.
below Woods? Is there a tier below
Yeah, put it
Woods?
at the.
Shadow.
You know,
Okay, this was so shocking to me. I want to say real quick, learning
Yeah.
how many people fall into this category because
Yes.
it was unbelievable
just
having the
Redditors.
switch flipped in my head, where I realized 99% of the people complaining about Yu-Gi-Oh on Twitter do not play the game,
Yep.
and I'm not talking in like
Right.
a competitive capacity. I'm not talking about like, oh, they play the game sometimes, but they literally have not picked up cards in months, and they're like, we have to
Months,
ban detonators.
Years, yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, now that's actually like not playing for years. What about at a kitchen table level? Is that bro? I don't know if it. I still
It still
classify
would.
that
It
if
still
you're
would.
playing kitchen table. I still don't. I don't consider.
what
But
do
it
you
depends on what
compla-
you're complaining
Like,
Yeah,
about.
what are you
Because if you're
complaining
complaining
about,
about
at that point? Wonder Balloon?
Detonator and stuff like
Well, yeah,
that,
you're
but you're not
complaining
playing
about like
against it.
my friend summons Notaria Bamboo Shoot and I can't beat that fucking card. Like I don't value your complaint. If
They're
that's
in a
like
different
your
category.
Plants
They're-
are the most
they're not
broken
real
thing in the
people.
game, right?
Yeah.
Like it's shit like that.
Only collects cards. We're, by the way, we are in agreement, right? Woods tier for this person.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're
100%.
talking
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Gigawoods.
Every
Only
person. Only
coll-
collect cards.
only
Harmless.
collect
Who
cards.
cares? That's fine.
That's harmless,
It's
yeah.
a collectible
I don't
card
really
game.
give a shit. Yeah, you do what you
Yeah.
you do what you got to do.
I feel
They
like
got a rough They got a rough road ahead of them now.
I don't know, man.
Collecting Yu-Gi-Oh has kind of been stinky recently.
those
those guys are troopers.
I think this is like GOAT tier, right? Like, these is literally the lifeblood of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, this is where the stocks money go up, burr thing for Konami happens, and how they keep making the game, right? Because like the collectors, I think really like spend the money and keep the game afloat. No.
Is it? I feel like it's
don't think
a
so,
small
yeah.
portion of competitive whales, right?
Competitive
I think
whales?
Yu-Gi-Oh's got like an
Yeah.
interesting like I think the model of like mass box openings. I don't actually think that happens like in most other card games. Like stores will just
Well,
open
have you
massive
been
amount of
looking at
products to,
Pokemon
like-
recently?
Well, Pokemon's actually I don't know. Pokemon is just completely different. It's I don't know. I don't think you can compare it. Yu-Gi-Oh's like rough because how do you think like I think it's really hard like Pokemon is so easy to get new people to collect it because it looks pretty and it's really cool, right? How do you convince someone to collect Yu-Gi-Oh in 2025?
The
Like that-
17th Dark Magician all are, I guess.
Well, okay, so Gage, you're looking at it from the perspective of like collecting high-end stuff. A lot of people just like collecting, sets of cards or every
okay,
Dark
yeah, that's
Magician like the Nintendo set. Like
I-
that's
I
what
didn't
Do you guys ever have a
collector
number
can mean
hunter?
anything.
Do you guys ever have a number
I didn't-
hunter at your local?
Yeah.
Back in
Yeah.
the day, we've talked about number hunters. I have no problem with them. But did you know Danny now makes his living talking about cardboard? He started as a guy who was like, you know what? I just want to own all the signer dragons, and he was.
He
buying
seems like the
30
type of guy, honestly. Yeah, that checks
Right,
out.
and he was buying like 30-cent copies of like Black Rose Dragon, and it was like I was like, honestly, whatever makes you happy, I can't be too mad about it.
Well, like all of them, like he's just trying to get as many as possible.
Yeah, he just wanted to play the cards that he liked,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's harmless. I think it's
Yeah, it's harmless.
Perfectly normal. That's a perfectly normal way to engage with Yu-Gi-Oh.
On their phone while you combo.
Kill them.
Woods.
Woods.
I've been this in the past, and I am not proud of it.
It's so annoying.
No,
I hate
no.
Is Woods worse than no? Just Woods,
No,
whatever.
Woods.
Like
it's actually
the worst
unforgivable.
thing that you can experience at locals is when the opponent has clearly checked out, but they won't like scoop or whatever, so they're just like an asshole and do stuff like that, or check their watch for like text messages.
So
nothing worse than someone that's just disengaged.
Well, I don't know. Here's the thing, Doug. So in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, right, a lot of combo turns take a while. You may not be aware of this, but
Oh, so wait, are you about to tell us that you're one of the Coco Melon babies who
Listen.
needs his keys jangled while his opponent does a combo?
Listen. If you're comboing, I'm not gonna be rude about it. I'm not gonna be like, come on, right? But if I like,
Hey, how about you be present for once in your life, Farfa? Huh? How about you
might learn
enjoy
something.
the moment?
You sound like my wife talking about my
Yeah,
son.
maybe
I'm kidding.
maybe you'd actually win a game, bro. Maybe you'd actually.
I
win a game
think
if
maybe
you
I think maybe you are not kidding. I think maybe you're not kidding at all.
Oh, shut the fuck. Give me a second here. Listen, if
Yeah.
if you're comboing off, right, and it's been a couple of interactions, and very clearly, we've hit the checkpoints of, you would have ashed this, you would have impermed this, you would have nibbed here, and then eventually I'm just like, okay, go off, right? Like, I may or may not want to check my phone.
Don't pull your phone. Do you pull your phone out? I will kill you if you say this. I'll leave the call. Do you pull your phone out in the theater?
No,
he's gonna say
no,
yes.
No, I don't know.
So you can stay locked in for a 2-hour cinematic movie.
Wait,
but
do
you
you?
can't sit for 3 rounds of a 40-minute, like of a 40-minute local. You can't just interact with your opponent.
I'm not watching a Malice cinematic, dude. I'm not.
I mean, see, this is why I just don't play.
Well, Doug, you
See,
could,
I don't have this
whatever.
problem because
Doug, you
the
could
most
be playing and you could be
Edison
on your
turn is a
phone.
Set Ryko pass.
Just zone out and think about what you're gonna have for dinner or whatever. Just let them cook.
top 8.
But
at
yeah,
a
also like fuck 'em.
top 8 at a 20-player regional deck profile. I think it's cringe.
What, you don't like New Zealand? You have something against New Zealand?
Dude, listen, first of all, I think Auckland gets at least 70 players. Second of all, there's deck profiles, people are proud of their achievements, etc., etc. But if you're like hitting like the top 40%, like come on, like do we need a profile on this?
I don't know. You ever see somebody give like a?
That's
I think
harmless.
it's harmless. You ever see somebody give like their invite deck profile for a regional? They're like, I got my invite.
They're so excited.
Yeah,
Way back when.
it's cool. Like, yeah, you be proud of your accomplishments
Yeah,
and
but-
stuff like
Well,
that.
because with the 20-player regional, right? Like that means that's what's around them. They can't go to a bigger regional if a bigger regional
Right.
doesn't exist. So of course they're gonna post like their top.
But what's the profile for?
For chronicling their achievement that they're allowed to, post online. I don't see what the problem is. Haven't you post like Glasgow regionals? Aren't those like 5 people?
Shut the fuck up, okay? People care about the Glasgow metagame. Why are you disrespecting this? Come on.
Do they? Do they
Hell
know?
yeah. Okay. All right. Kind of harmless it is, I suppose. No mat.
These people fucking horrify me. I understand why people do it. It's always like a
Wait, there's logic
intimidation
behind it?
tactic, and
I
it
think it's
always
cringe.
fucks me up.
I think
It
it's
always
cringe.
fucks me up.
I
I
think
always
it's
get
like
got by
too.
this.
I think it's too. I'm like I don't
Try
sorry, I'm, like,
hard,
losing
but
the word.
try hard in
Not
the
trope.
opposite way.
I think it's.
know,
I think
it's-
you're. I
yeah.
think you're trying too hard to make a statement.
Yeah.
Like the people that if you just sit down and you play like that, that's fine. But the people that like, kind of need you to they want the people that sit down and want you to comment on it, and they're kind of like waiting for you to be like, oh shit, I don't know, just do it or
No,
not. But like I
I have
don't know,
a totally
think
different
that-
position on this. For me, it's too ultra comp inside baseball. It's too like people who are like really, really invested in being like epically competitive, being like, no, I'm doing this for intimidation factor so that I can send the wrong signals. Like, I think that it is cringe insofar as it's like a nonverbal they're trying to set off, but I get it. Like, I think this is probably harmless.
I think
I
like
think this is cringe.
the no mat. I think the no mat is like it's super woods. I think because like it's like you said, Joseph.
Really?
Like I've never seen someone not have a mat because they just forgot their mat. It's always intentionally I don't have a mat because I want you to fear me or something like that. And I don't know. I think like everybody that plays the game kind of gets it. Like they want to take care of their possessions and stuff. And having a mat, having your cards sleeved, that's like a level of caring about yourself, I guess.
It's all about intention, right? I think if you're genuinely just for Gaul, or for whatever reason you legitimately can afford to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And enter tournaments, but not own a mat, then I guess whatever, harmless. But I think it's always like some sort of like meta social commentary that they're trying harding to like, you know, make a statement.
Yeah,
with.
that's what I
cringe.
think.
I think
That's
it's
what I
cringe.
think.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the
Really?
people that bring like a Waffle House
It
menus
insists
and stuff
upon
like
it.
that?
Or like the
let me-
McDonald's
Let me
drink.
let me ask you this in the same vein. Gage, do you think the people cosplaying as 2010 grinders with the calc case and the spellground are cringe? Because it's the
No.
same concept.
No.
Okay, well, I think you're saying no because you are one of those people.
I know,
Wait,
I am one of those
wait.
people. I don't, but I still don't think it's cringe. Like, I definitely don't think it's.
No,
cringe.
I think it's
I know.
cringe.
I don't think
I
this
don't
is
know.
on here, but Nadir just brought up something that I think we should talk about. How do you guys feel about the people that have like the menus or the trays?
I think
That's
if,
what I said,
I
yeah,
think as
yeah.
long as it's not intrusive to the gameplay, like where it actually is like, you know, it's got like you know that sushi guy who like had like the
Okay, well
actual
that's
chopping
different.
board?
That guy's like in another level.
Yeah, yeah.
I just mean like I don't know, the Waffle House menus, I think we've passed that. I think 5 years ago it was very funny. And I don't mean any offense, but if you're still doing that, I think it's kind of cringe. I think it's trying too hard to get a laugh. I don't know.
I mean, I don't care. I think as long as you're not like
It's derivative at this point, right? We've all seen it enough. Like, I don't know.
what's the next stage? Like how much crazier can it be? Holograms,
See,
I
I
guess,
don't even
would
think
be
it's
the only ones.
crazy. I just think, it was silly. It's like repeating the joke at this point. Like,
All right, kind of
don't
cringe. No mat. We good?
I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good with putting it there. Yep.
All right, vendors.
you mean like a floor vendor?
I guess just vendor.
Or like-
I think
Just
Well, I think,
vendors in general?
Vendors are. Doug's onto something. There's two different types of
concept
vendors.
of
right?
vendors.
what's the difference between a floor? Oh, you mean like a backpack vendor?
Yeah.
Which
yeah, like-
isn't
No,
allowed.
No. This is not what this is talking about.
Oh, so we're just talking about actual.
Just the
vendors, like, at
concept
the
of people
YCS.
selling
What-
cards?
What do you want me to say? They're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
harmless.
They're
harmless.
okay.
Sometimes a
Harmless,
W.
yeah.
Actually, vendors at YCSs, recently the ones I've been to,
Yeah.
dude, some of the
been
nicest
good.
and actually greatest business people. They're
Yeah,
really
who hooked us
willing
up
to make
at
deals
the
with you.
at Nats? We got some really good stuff.
Oh, we got some crazy things from I think Insomnia Games or something like that. Like people are just looking to make deals. And
Who
I think
got
that's
us? Who
fun.
got us that Dusa dad? Who was that?
Oh, bro, that was in Vegas. The craziest thing.
fuck.
Can we tell the story real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
really
of
quickly.
course, yeah.
Joseph, in his back recalling the beginning of the show here, trying to finish his ugliest deck possible. He wants the ugliest Dark Arm Dragon rarity, and it's the Duelist Saga Ultra Rare. I don't know a single person
That's
that's
not
gonna have
that
that just
bad
on
looking.
hands,
That's
right?
not that bad.
It's pretty bad looking, Doug. I don't know a single soul that has it.
Good.
We go up to a random vendor booth at the Vegas YCS, and I say, "What are the odds you guys have a Dusa specifically, Dad?" And the guy says, "Give me a minute," and he checks it, and he's like, "How many do you need?" I was like, "What? No way! He's got this garbage ass
Dang.
card on him."
Garbage
had
card.
A bunch
That's
of them,
huge
apparently.
W. Huge W.
I mean, I think it's vendors are goats, right? Like they literally keep the game alive. Like literally, like they provide.
we-
for
And
the
so
community.
many of them are
about
nice.
back-
They're
Yeah.
so
Can we
like I
talk
feel like I
about
know
backpack
so many of the
vendors, though?
vendors, and they're
I'm
so
sure
friendly.
that they're probably.
yeah, W for
I think
sure.
I think there's a backpack vendor category in here somewhere.
Oh, is there?
Probably. Judge
we'll wait for that
called
one.
Jason.
Is that like someone who
Abuses
like,
judge calls, or just
They're
doesn't
just
want them?
always calling a judge. Like, you know, a little thing happens.
calls a judge over everything
just-
instead of trying to work anything out?
Just gotta ask a judge
it's
about
kinda cringe.
this.
kinda cringe.
Oh,
I don't
did you
care.
miss the activation? Oh, just gotta double check with the judge. Judge called Jason.
I have no problem with this. I think you all have imagined a person who is
Yeah, his name's
always
Jason.
calling a judge, when in reality, every single person I've ever met in this game is so hesitant to call a judge in a situation where they would resolve
that's a
the
different
problem
person.
in 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Here's my person. Tell me if you
Joseph,
think
yes,
a
this is how
W
this
or an
tier
F.
list works. We're
They-
creating a person.
They show up to locals in blackface. Do you think that's a W or an L? We all know that one guy. Like, this is a person who doesn't exist. The person who
This
calls
does
the judge
exist.
too often.
Yes, this is.
I think-
Okay, have
no.
you ever encountered a person who is at locals calling a judge constantly and felt, boy, they could stand to call a judge less often?
Not at locals, but yeah, absolutely.
Oh, huh. Well, okay. Well,
Here, I'll create
okay,
a guy.
Okay.
How about guy who has a crush on the judge, so he calls him over for everything?
Ooh, hold up, wait.
Just to,
we
you
can
know,
write something
have a
very
meet
interesting
cute.
about
No, like
I have,
leave
like,
a
if
comment
this-
in the YouTube section down below and let us know. Right there, you
So I
absolutely.
think-
I know for a fact there are people who will have experience with.
Well, because
that
you're saying
guy.
this is different than a
I-
rule shark. I see the rule shark
no,
down there,
see,
but I
that's
don't
what I was gonna
know who
point
does
out.
this.
I think you're mixing it up between rule sharks, but I do actually understand what Farfa is saying because I used to have this guy when I worked at locals. There would be people that would call into the shop, the same guy, every day to ask a judge question, something you could
That's
just
funny.
look up online.
Okay, that was Judge
at that
Call Jason,
extreme.
yeah.
That's omega cringe. That's Judge Call Jason.
That's
But,
what
like,
Judge
if
Call
we're thinking
Jason
of-
is.
Yeah,
Yes.
if that's what Judge. Oh, okay. So yeah, I think that's kind of cringe. I think a rule shark is completely different.
Yeah, we're
I
not talking
think
about
that's
rule
what-
sharking. We're just like asking
I don't
about
know.
every
I
little
don't think this person
interaction.
exists, but I would say harmless.
You
I mean,
know-
like because if they're calling him so much that it's slowing down the pace of play,
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
the judge that
Judge
they keep
call
calling
Jason.
over, the judge that they call over will be like, "Hey, you're calling me over too often."
Right. So we're not here to find the solution to Judge
So the
Call
judge
Jason.
called
We're just
Jason
here to-
solves itself if it goes on too much. That's what I'm trying to say.
You people just don't understand this. All right, moving on. Maxx
No,
C
yeah, I
Defender.
don't understand it because you are telling me you've never encountered this person.
I have. You just didn't listen to the rest of the sentence. I said not at
Okay, keep
locals, but at a premier event. I did. I entered a side event, and it was like 3 times per round. This person within this like 8-person.
So this is
queue.
just one guy that's on here that you had a that
I
is
personally
annoying?
have had experience.
Maybe
Leave
just
a
take out the
comment
judge
just
call.
down
Do you
below.
like Jason?
Let-
Is Jason an asshole?
Leave
Is
a
Jason
comment
in the
down
call? Can
below
we
and
add him?
say if you have a judge called Jason or if you've had experience with a judge called Jason. This archetype exists. All right, Maxx C Defender.
I disagree with them, but like, I'm not gonna get that pressed about it.
Yeah,
I think it's a
it's
little
kinda-
cringe.
I
I wouldn't
think
say
it's
I
kinda
don't
cringe.
like
Yeah,
them.
I'll throw in
I think
kinda
it's like,
cringe, yeah.
well, because I
They're
feel like
trying
some
too
people
hard
are
to be
really, yeah, right. I
no,
feel
that's
a
not
lot of
true.
I even
OCG
have
That's
a,
not true.
players,
Some
too.
Maxx C, no,
There's a lot of
no,
OCG
no.
players.
The majority of Maxx C defenders legitimately defend Maxx C. They're not try-harding. They're not like making a meme or they believe Maxx C is.
no, but I
Yeah,
think they're
no.
trying to be different. I don't know. I think
No, I don't think they are. I think
And
they.
I gotta tell you this because I know that we as Americans are privileged to be able to have this position, but a lot of OCG players feel the same way we feel about Maxx C defense, about Maxx C hatred. They're like, the West is just trying to paper over this good thing. American Yugi tubers are behind this like conspiracy to get us to hate this card that's genuinely good for the format. Like, I really do think like these people have played a format that, for better or for worse, has had Maxx C in it for 20 years, and they're like, it's fine. It's a part of the format. We say stuff like, it's played all the time, it shuts down X deck, and they say that's exactly the same about Ash Blossom. We have them in the same category of broken hand trap that is integral to the game at this point.
I don't know what you're talking
the
about.
question
I
is,
disagree
are
with everything you
we
said.
or are they
Yeah, I
in the
disagree too.
philosophical cave with shadows on the wall? Because I feel like we're like
What are
OCG
you
players
talking
haven't
about?
experienced. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Exactly. No, I mean, I don't agree with them. I think that it is the case that Maxx C fucking sucks, and I wish.
But they don't know.
Gone.
They don't know any
But-
different. Like,
Right, and I'm not gonna call
in the
them
cave.
shit,
I
and they
don't
should
know.
go die because they live in a cave. All right, you I'm
it's
gonna
not
say,
their
no
fault.
big
It's not their
deal.
fault. Like,
Enjoy the.
you really
shadows
don't know what
on
I'm
the wall.
talking about?
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm telling you,
Who are these
I'm not gonna
Maxx C
hold it against
shadows?
them.
Nadir,
for being
okay,
trapped.
okay, real quick. Whoever is editing can cut this from the video, but just so you know what I'm talking about, there's this philosophical thing that was supposed to be talking about unenlightened versus enlightened people. So in this
There's
case, Maxx
no
C
way
versus
you
not
guys
Maxx
don't
C.
know the allegory of the cave. Come on.
So there's people that are trapped in a cave looking at a wall, and there's these huge monstrous shadows in front of them. They can't turn around or whatever, but little do they realize that the shadows are actually just normal people walking behind them, but because their perspective is on the wall of the big monstrous shadows, that's their perspective of the world. Try telling those people those shadows aren't real, those are just regular people, it'll blow their fucking mind. So anyway, if you think Maxx C is good, you're looking at a shadow.
Honestly, keep that in, Vlad. I agree. Doug is onto something. If
Do you not
defend
take
Maxx-
we're not-
a
he's
humanities
spinning-
class?
if you
or-
defend
and
Maxx
we're
C,
not- I never
you're
took
a
a shot. I
shadow
didn't know about
person.
that.
we're not here to determine if Maxx C is good or bad. We all know it's bad. I'm saying I'm not faulting those people for living in the cave. Like, it's not their, like, I'm sorry that you're wrong, but I think you're harmless.
My problem with it is that I think it's harmless, or I would think it's harmless, but the problem is, like, there's probably a lot of them to the point where Konami sees their comments and stuff and thinks, oh, yeah, no, we're justified in keeping this card around. So I think it actually does cause
Konami
harm.
doesn't listen to any player.
Yeah, I don't think they listen to anybody.
They listen to Japanese players, probably.
Probably.
They got to be listening to someone.
Listen, there's a baby Sarasaurus meme on their official account right now. They're
So
listening
someone's
to
listening
someone.
to you.
Someone's listening to me. Coaches during Duel. Third person, so
Kill.
probably, you know, like an observer.
Kill.
Woods.
Death. Kill.
Horrible. This
Yeah.
is the least. Dude, I had this at, not to put my friend on blast, but I had a friend that was doing this the last time I went to locals to me, and I like literally had to ask him multiple times, like, please stop, like, go away. It was like my first locals in 8 months, and I'm like, I'm just here to have fun in an Edison, and he kept like correcting plays that I made in games that I was winning, and I was like, I'm not here to min-max. I can't stand people
Win
like
the
this.
way
It's
that
super
I
annoying.
won. Yeah, so that this is a very easy category. However, this one, coach's opponent while playing. This is
I don't like this one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
me
say
neither.
I
I
don't
agree.
like you.
Yeah.
I get people who are like, no, there's value in like improving both players' play, and like I want them not to make this mistake in the future. How magnanimous of you, first of all. But second of all, like the time and the place for that is after the duel's concluded.
Yes.
Like if you want to do it, you want to be like, hey, I played a ton of this deck. Just want to let you know, here's a sequence that plays around X. Like,
Is that a little
some people will-
condescending though? Like to
some
like
people
tell
will
very
them
bristle
after-
at that.
condescending. Yeah.
No,
Like to
I
be like-
understand some people will bristle at that, but that's like the tolerable version of doing it mid-game. Like, if you ever do it mid-game, you should pee your pants.
No, I agree. I think like telling somebody after the game, like I like to like, I'm not the greatest at the game, but if I know something that might help them, I'm willing to like share that information. But I always feel like okay, if I kicked their ass too, and I said, well, you know, if you played like this, you probably could have beat me or something like that.
Well, it's like, do
Like,
people does anyone ever like getting unsolicited advice? Like, I don't think
right?
so.
Like
it's
they didn't
just,
ask, right? Like,
I think as humans, we're
very
not very good at that. Have you guys ever experienced the person who coaches you into the wrong play? Like they try and tell you like these plays, but they're it's like I think they're
yeah, I've
doing
read
it
chat
deliberately.
before. Yeah.
But then we're talking about your opponent, right? Like they're coaching you. They're trying to say, "Oh, you're gonna do this line or something," right? They say something like that, but they are deliberately trying to tell you the wrong one so that you.
I don't
play
think anybody's
into-
told me
Yeah,
that. I
don't fall
actually
for
had
that.
that happen at a YCS though. I had that happen at the last YCS. I had somebody like I attacked with a Yugioh Guardian, and he just assumed I was gonna take the card, and he gave it to me. And I thought twice, and I was like, I really shouldn't take this card. Like it's bad for the game state. And I said, actually, I don't want it. And he's like, you already took it. And I was like, no, you gave it. I guess we're doing this. I was like, you kind of just.
He had
gave
made
it
up
to
his
me.
mind
And I
earlier.
just kind
No,
of
you're
accepted
taking it. Like,
yeah, because I was like, oh, this lines up for his gladiator beast to just beat the shit out of me, and that's what he did. And I was like, well, I got owned.
What
Kinda
the hell?
cringe.
Can't take advice. Why are you giving someone advice? If they can't take advice,
that's
it means they didn't
harmless.
ask you.
I don't know. That's fine.
I think that this is
No, dude. No, you know what this is.
What is
you
it?
know what this
Like
is.
the person
do you
that asks for advice and then doesn't take it.
Oh,
Yeah, like-
right.
So, yeah,
What do I replace
Someone's
this
like-
card with?
Well, that's just
and then
cringe,
you tell
right?
them, and they go, well, no, I don't want that card. I like that card.
Well, that's just I don't like you, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's cringe,
that's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
annoying. Like
Yeah.
asking for, hey, how can I improve my deck? You should take out Magic Cylinder. Well, no, you see, it did like win me a game, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you want to get better at the game, you got to be able to ask for help. You are not the next Yami Yugi.
And
That's
you
just
have
that.
to, the other thing is you have to remain open to help, and you have to be like, I might be wrong. So many people have the disease where they're like, in no situation can I be wrong about this. Then they ask for help because they're not seeing results. Someone gives them input and they're like, I disagree. You're wrong. And it's like, well, enjoy the cave, right?
Okay, like I don't know if you guys have experienced this. This is why I no longer look at people's decks at YCSs, and I'll be as vague as possible. But I remember talking to this guy at an event. He said he went like 1-6 or 2-6, and he dropped. And he's like, I really think I had a cool deck. Can you take a look at it? Give
Was
me
it
some
Gage?
advice. I started.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
I started really light. I probably made like 4, things like that were really obvious, and he just kept saying, Well, no, like it works. Like, you know, it's in here for the like
Yeah, it's
this.
like, why
This
did
is
you
why
ask?
like, and it's like, well, you're 2'6". Like, what do you mean? Like, of course it does. It doesn't work. It literally doesn't work. Like, I don't know. And then I just said, nope, never mind. It must have been your opponents drew better. You lost every die roll. You're
For 8 rounds
You
in
were
a row.
blindfolded. Like, whatever.
Just unlucky. Just
Blindfold.
unlucky, bro.
All right.
Just unlucky. Yeah.
Always plays with borrowed decks.
I think this is harmless.
Do they leave it
I don't
outside
care.
the bathroom for someone to steal? Or
Yeah, that is, dude. I still can't believe that story. What?
I don't know. I don't think I like this person. I had someone like this at locals for years.
You don't like poor people?
For years. Yeah, I actually despise people who earn under tax bracket D, that band and below. That if you're under that, yeah, you're a terrible person. But there was a
Right,
guy at
right.
my locals for years, and he would just sort of like go in between, like a third of the deck would be from this person, half the deck would be from this other person, like 20% would be from whatever the percentage is from that person, and then like they would like mix up the cards, and then they would like, oh, this edition belongs to that person, and they just kind of cycled through everyone's deck at locals for like months. And I just think it's like, you know, can you just like get your own deck at some point, right? Like,
I think you have, when it comes to borrowing cards, I think there's two paths. Like, which way, Western Man? You either get like 1 to 3 cards that you just happen to not have yourself and you can't find them in the last minute, or you borrow an entire deck. And I don't think like borrowing the entire deck, if somebody has like multiple decks to like encourage their friends to play, if you want to like always borrow those or try new things, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, what you said, like piecing out an entire 60 card list and like finding 40 different people to supply it, that is crazy business right there. Because imagine,
well, the
imagine
keyword
you
here is
lose
always,
that,
right? Like that's the important thing.
Always. I think if you always have to borrow a full deck from someone, if that's like your only way to play the game is like, my friends have this deck, I'll go if you guys toss me a 40 card list. I think that's harmless.
Yeah.
But I think like if you're always missing 3 to 4 cards in every deck that you play, every local you show up, you're like, who's got these 4 cards? I'm looking for common
Yeah.
Bee Trooper Flying
Yeah.
Sting.
And
Anybody
it would always piss me off because they would like mix up whose cards belong to who and stuff. They were just like really. So I guess I'm personally very jaded by this one. But what do you think, Joseph?
I think if you don't like people borrowing cards, you hate poor people.
Even if it's always borrowing full deck lists.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
They don't.
If you
what,
have,
just
I
'cause
know
they
this
can't
is
get out
a
of their
foreign
economic
concept
bracket.
to you all, but if you have friends, it actually is quite okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. The type of person Gage is talking about at locals, I'm not a big fan of. But just in terms of like people borrowing decks, like it's fine. I don't know.
Who cares?
Okay.
I don't like the people that take it from everyone and get lost though. That's really annoying.
Yeah, I think that's mostly what I'm referring to in this case. Just before anyone says I hate poor people, the gambler.
We know you hate poor people. I don't like the gamble people. Thankfully, they're like not that big in the like capital S scene anymore. But there was a time when like every single local had
Just
a couple
caveat what you're
guys
talking
that were,
about
like,
really quick, by the way. So you're talking about
Yeah, I'm trying to
an
do it
example,
right now, actually.
Yeah. So before anyone thinks
No, so
this is
there's-
not like a tier player or a Lightsworn player. This is what Joseph is describing.
Right. So every local for a really long time had a couple of people who would sit in the back and be like, "Do you want a dice for those cards?" And they would try and like roll you for like.
Gage, have you ever heard of that game?
Yeah,
I don't know anyone who's ever played it personally, especially not in this call.
No, rolling for
No,
cards was like a huge thing where I lived.
It was
Yeah,
enormous,
yeah.
and I do think that it's nice that it's mostly gone. I guess I don't really have too much of a problem with it if it's like 2 people who are financially stable who just want to do something fun. But when it was really big, it was a bunch of people who needed to win the roll.
Jesus
Like there was a lot of people who were like, this absolutely must work, and I was like, you're in here every week broke for the same reason. At what point do you realize it's just you?
You're just rolling
Yeah.
for cards every week. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty harmless, I suppose, but it's not something I would take part in, and I don't have to, so I don't care. You do what you want with your money, right? That's how I see it.
I don't know. I think it's kind of like, I think it's kind of cringe because it's not like, so you're promoting gambling in a place where there are kids that are underage.
Yeah,
Probably
it could be
right?
quite harmful.
That's not a good look. Like
Yeah.
that's not a good look. Like imagine you introduce a kid to 7-Eleven Snake Eyes, and then all of a sudden,
Sorry,
at
what?
13, that's like the game. That's dicing.
Oh, right.
So, yeah. So imagine you introduce that, and at 13, they're fucking draining their bank account, just dicing cards.
Yeah.
But like, how do they describe that to their parents? I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
think
to
of
the
all the
card shop with
Fortnite
my
skins.
boys. Yeah, whatever. Like, no,
I think
kinda
it's also
cringe,
against policy, right? Well,
Yeah.
first off, I don't think you're just
know if it
allowed to
is.
gamble in like a store, but I think it's specifically against policy. So
Interesting.
I think it's kind of cringe. I don't think it's a good look when it's like when you're doing it. Like at a YCS or anything, like unless
a
you're just surrounded
kinda
by your
public
specifically
place,
your
yeah.
friends. Yeah, in a public place,
Yeah.
it is super cringe.
Playing with Maxx Rarity. Mixed Rarity,
playing
sorry.
mixed rarity.
Yeah.
Would no, whatever. I used to care about this a lot,
Yeah,
and I don't want to do it ever. But whatever, it's harmless. Who
Yeah,
cares?
Yeah, what
I
do
don't
we
like
care?
it, but I think it's harmless. Like, got to do what you got to do.
What do you guys think about the people who deliberately play Mixed Rarity?
I would.
Okay,
They
well,
have,
come on.
damaged in the head.
That you can't look me in the eyes and say, "I just like it that way." What are you talking about? Come on. What do you mean?
They're doing it for the same reason people do the no mat. They want to get some sort of epic tilt off.
Right.
That's why I think you
Yeah.
all are ridiculous on the no mat thing.
I know this doesn't matter, and people make fun of me when I say this. The thing about mixed rarities is it actually is a competitive disadvantage because your opponent suddenly knows how many copies of things you're playing. I know in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of stuff is just 3-ofs or a 1-of power card, but like, legitimately, if there's a card out there that some people play 1-of and some people play 3-of, if 2 of different rarities show up, now your opponent knows you play more than one copy, and I think that is a real disadvantage. I don't know.
Taking this to the
Edison
extreme.
min-maxing.
How do you guys feel about first edition and unlimited? Like, if
Oh,
see
mixed
That's something,
editions?
You
you know,
unlimited
unlimited
anymore.
copy.
Who cares?
That's like collectors.
For old
That's
cards,
like
I
a-
want first ed, of course.
Yeah, I think it would annoy me personally if my cards were Mixed Rarity, but I don't. If you do it, I don't care. Like, it's your cards.
Oh, you got a problem?
Yeah, like it would. It's just like, I guess, OCD or something. Like, I just look at my cards like, fuck, why are they different editions and rarities?
That's a funny way to describe it. I would call it racism, but you do you.
Got him. Rule Shark. That's just easy woods, right?
Woods,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a game, like fucking chill. You know what? I've had this experience. Anyway, have you guys? I had this experience one time where this known player, but there's a lot of known players, where a known player next to me was clearly trying to shark his opponent, and the judge didn't let it go through, of course. And then I watched him after the match ended and he lost. I watched him pull out his phone, type out like what happened, and then post it on like Facebook or whatever.
Oh, God.
And like, because I just watched it happen, like the entire story was fabricated. It was insane. It was like the most cognitive dissonance I've ever seen in someone. Like, he's like, oh, they thought I was sharking. It's like, you were sharking. Like, yeah, of course they thought you were sharking. That's what you were doing.
It's
And
just pure
I think a lot of
narcissistic
people
behavior.
are. I think a lot of rule sharks just find new ways to justify it when they're actually just an asshole.
Did you
It's
make?
crazy.
Did you make sure to angry react and fact check it in the comment section live as he was typing it?
No, because it's like one of those people you're like acquaintances with, and it's like also someone that like I expected them from.
Well, I mean, it's somebody that also probably lives in like an echo chamber too. Like, they're complaining to everybody that
Agrees.
is like
with
a
them.
yes man at that point, right? Like, they're not going to question it and say, like, they're going to be like, wow, this guy, he's legit. Like, this definitely happened. And then they're going to leave it at that. They're just going to believe it at that. Rule sharks are miserable, bro. I have this one
Yeah.
story. I'm not going to tell the story, but like, I have this one experience that, oh my God, it boiled my blood, bro. It was like round 2 of a regional.
Well,
It just
now
soured
you're gonna
my
tell the
grades
story.
rest
So
of
now I've been
No, I'm not gonna tell you.
teased.
Do you
I've been
want me to tell
teased.
you?
Yeah, I've been teased. I'm invested now.
yeah.
it. Okay,
How about the
I'll
time
tell you
Kevin
really
sharked
quickly.
you at a locals?
Well, that one's just funny. This one actually happened at a regional. I played Wavering Eyes back when it was like pendulum format, and everyone was playing Wavering Eyes, right? So we go for a crazy Wavering Eyes stack, and I'm resolving Wavering Eyes for 4 cards. So you get to search Wavering Eyes, banish
Oh,
a
the
card,
wrong
add
order?
a pendulum, and so I pick up my deck, and then I pull out the Wavering Eyes, and then I pull out the Pendulum monster. I put the deck down and I say, I'm going to banish that card. And he says, you resolved them out of order. You don't get to banish the card because you already picked up the Pendulum monster from your deck.
That's not even how the card works, right? Because you have to resolve it
Well,
in sequence if you start with the 4th one.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense because what he's inferring is like I had to add Wavering Eyes, shuffle my deck, present it, banish a card,
Yeah.
and then re-pick up the deck and search it again. It just didn't make any sense. So he
Yeah.
claimed that. He called the judge, and the judge sided with him.
What?
And I was never more angry in my life. It was like a clear, like angle shoot, and it really pissed me off. And I told him afterwards, I'm like, you know why you did that, right? And he's like, yeah, good game, right?
Good game.
Crazy, bro.
I quit, but never actually quits. I'm calling you out, Jess. I'm calling you out. All right. I see you streaming the DC Cup for 3 days. All right.
I don't know. I think it's kind of cringe, right? Like
a little, like kind of cringe 0.5, you know, like
I think
everyone
it
does
sucks.
this,
I
right?
think there's so many Yu-Gi-Oh players who are like, it's over. I'm fed up. Every 2.5 weeks.
I think it's
that's
fine.
true.
I think Yu-Gi-Oh is an addiction. It's a drug. It's so good. So if you quit, I don't blame you for relapsing. That's how I see it. We thinking cringe?
I think it's kind of cringe. I think
Cringe
decide, either
0.5.
pick up a new hobby or like actually quit. Do what you say.
Like if you really are miserable all the time playing the game, then why are you playing it? I don't know. This is kind of creeping into the territory of like who we were talking about earlier about, you know, people that never complain and just say leave. But like truly, if you're the one saying like I
everything
quit
sucks.
all the time, like I don't know.
Nostalgia chaser.
cringe.
The good old days. Back in my day, this is how it worked. This is how
Harmless.
things
These people
were.
keep our game afloat. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's kind of cringe. Like, shut up. Like, just go play Time Wizard, you know?
Well, weren't you just talking about on a video how cool it was that like Blue Eyes is a great structure deck for returning players and stuff like that?
Yeah, but-
That's a
yeah, but-
nostalgia chasers are those types of people.
No, I think Nostalgia Chaser, I think of like nostalgia like elitists, right? Like back in my day, my golden era was like the best period of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like saying Blue Eyes is cool because Bat Chest, I like Blue Eyes is fine. But saying back
I
in
don't know
my
if that's
day,
what I'd call a chaser.
Joseph, could you tell us what a
Like
chaser
someone-
is? Because you called me a chaser on Twitter today.
I'm good.
He literally did this to me today.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So where are we putting this? Harmless, probably?
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's pretty
Okay.
harmless.
All right, I am not. I'm going to mute myself now, and you guys can discuss. Watch his Farfa.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
boy.
kind of cringe, dude. Like imagine
I'm
A little
gonna
coming
cringe,
say-
in-
yeah.
I'm going to say
To-
kind of cringe, but I think this is kind of cringe when it's anyone who you know watches a YouTuber because they always act the same way, which is they'll start like repeating jokes they've heard online during the match, and it's like, yeah, I get it. Yep. Yeah. Uh-huh.
What you don't? What that means they watch the thing. Personally, I think
if they're my jokes, I go, dog, that's hilarious. Keep it up.
Right,
But if
right.
it's like if they're going, oh, pop the
Nadir,
baby.
you said you'd mute yourself, by the way, and you didn't. No, I would say that I think the thing about Farfa watchers is that it's okay to watch Farfa on other channels, but if you're like subscribed
Yeah.
and watching his videos, you're insane.
I will say 2 things. Firstly, I don't really encounter Farfa watchers because I very seldom end up at bottom tables. And secondly,
you've
it's
banned
not
them
that
all.
big of a deal. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal because most Farfa viewers aren't allowed within 500 feet of me because they like quote tweeted me 6 months ago and called me like an evil Jew and I had to get a restraining order. So it's not a big deal to me. If you want to watch Farfa, that's fine.
I have it on good authority that Doug can pretend as much as he likes to say this is a cringe category, but he's regularly referencing not just quotes from my first channel, but the highlight channel. Doug is a Farfa viewer, okay?
Yeah, I watch every single video. What? I like seeing what my friends are up to.
I like Farfa. He's a great content
Thank
creator.
you.
I don't know. The optimal, I know you all have engaged with this. The optimal situation you find yourself in when dealing with someone who is a fan of your content, right, is you play a game, it's enjoyable from both players, and at the very end they go, by the way, big fan, appreciate what you're doing.
No, I want them to
Yeah,
tell me that
that's
ahead of
good.
time because I always feel
No, but
like, what if I did
the-
something mean to them? Like, I don't know.
No, the situation that I don't like is when they're like, oh my god, pop the baby, am I right? Haha, anyway, yep, cock, Pickle Rick.
Joseph, there is more to my content than just Pickle Rick, yep, cock, pop the baby. Okay, I will say...
Is there?
Shut up!
Is there, bro?
I will say that there is a type of content creator watcher that I actually think is cringe. It's when they just it's like semi-serious, like competitive players who just regurgitate things they've heard, like without any real like introspection or thought, right? Like
Didn't you watch the latest pack video, bro?
literally,
Yeah.
right? Like I get, like obviously these people are better at the game and they have opinions that kind of are way more valid than the average person's. But just repeating talking points is just so cringe when you don't even get it yourself. I think a lot of these people fall under that category.
Here's the actual reason I'm going to put Farfa Viewer in kind of cringe. I can't play a deck that includes pendulum monsters without my opponent going, "Oh, pen best deck! Oh my God, Electrobite! Oh,
that
wasn't
anyone with a brain!
well,
I was joking."
okay.
Why is he blaming me for this?
Who is the one? Oh my God!
That's a
you know
different
Trump
content
doesn't even
creator.
make those jokes anymore, right? It's you who is just fucking languishing in his shadow on this bit. You guys like, holy fuck!
Pen best deck.
Scale Mellow Madonna. Oh my God, pendulum, right? Pendulum, haha. Yeah, for sure. I'll go. Activate Wild Hope effect. Pop Wild Hope. Wow, it's like Pop Baby. Haha. I'm sorry.
He's
I
making
can't do
this
it.
up.
We're just making up
He's
people.
just
guys.
making up.
You got it. You know. I wish I was making up people. You got to get your viewers in line, buddy.
Joseph, you did not duel against someone where you activated an Abyss actor card and they somehow made a Baby Ceratosaurus reference. Shut the fuck up. Okay, anyway.
How would you know? You don't know if these cards are good.
Constant small talk during a duel.
I love it.
I love
W.
it.
Mega
Harmless.
W.
Oh,
I love fucking talking to people.
Me too. I like chumming it up. Especially the time wizards. I don't know, Doug, if you've noticed.
Oh,
as you play,
yeah.
Yeah, everyone's
is
super
just
nice in those.
super nice, having a good time. I just love chumming it up with my opponent. I love banter. My favorite
I will
thing is
say,
banter,
like, you
bro.
guys might be overlooking the constant part.
Yes.
Because I do think that there gets a point when the clock's winding down, you're in game 3, where the small talk stops
It's
being
distracting,
like, fun.
yeah.
Like, eventually you need to lock in. Like, sometimes people, like, when I read constant, I think of people that really just can't, like, understand when we're supposed to lock in or whatever. I love talking to people too, but
If
you
you're
know, if
still
it's actually
yapping
affecting
after
the
the
rate
third
of play.
if you're still yapping after the third, damn, that's crazy. This is a problem.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
If it affects the duel, I don't want it, but I do love talking to people and, you know, learning where people are from or where they were from or whatever.
Wow, yeah, it's such
Can't affect the duel.
such
Can't
diversity. Which part of the USA are you from? Okay, guys.
Do you guys like banter?
Dude,
with your
do you know how
opponents?
fucking
know the
big
US is
we
like
had
the
this
same
conversation
size
every
as
time?
Europe, right?
Overlay Europe and the USA, and you tell me that.
Look how they jumped on me. Look how they jumped on me.
Yeah, because you're wrong. Me when I say something stupid, why am I getting so much
How
pushback
big?
on this?
Hold on. Okay, don't make fun of me. I don't know geography. Is Michigan bigger than the United Kingdom or no? Are they about
Honestly,
the same
it
size?
probably
They're
is,
about the
actually.
same.
Harmless, I guess. Banlist Bater would kill yourself, especially as a contact.
Kill him.
I don't know, Farfa.
What? What have I done?
No, he doesn't do that.
I think I did it once,
yeah,
right?
not anymore,
Where-
yeah.
I think I did it once where I called all of you one at a time on stream.
Hilarious bit. Yeah.
Every time we're
It was
close
good.
to a ban list, there's like 6 months of you being like, "Today is ban list for sure." On the Twitch.
Well, no, that's
on.
not what he's talking about.
Come on.
The people that post fake ban lists,
Yeah,
like that are
yeah.
photoshopped and they want, like, yeah, fuck them. Like, that's so fucking.
Oh,
was
I
that?
find those so endearing.
Was
I
it-
think they're so funny.
Was it the last TCG or the TCG ban list before that where someone, I think it was Kilburn, some guy in my community. Well, shit, whoops, self-report.
Farfa viewers,
Do you guys
put them
remember
down
that-
and I don't like you.
Do you guys remember that super convincing, like they bought like a domain and it was Yugioh.com. Why?
Yes.
Yeah, do you guys remember
Yes, I
that?
do remember that one.
That rocked.
And it actually shook the market. He felt so bad he deleted the website because people were like legitimately thought it was it because the domain in lowercase l just kind of looks like an I, so people just kind of didn't think anything of it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Content creator. Well, it's easy W, right? Like, you know.
Yeah, it's a go.
I will
mean,
say
they're
this is harmless to me, but there are times when someone will be like, "Hey, just so you know, I'm also a content creator. Would you like to collab or something?" And I have to be like,
No.
No.
"No."
They're harmless. But they're not a goat. Are you kidding me? Like, you know what the worst thing is? Sorry if anyone's done it, but they don't know who I am, so it doesn't matter. The worst thing is when people are like, you're signing cards to people or talking to people, and some like random content creator that's super small comes up and he's like, I've never heard of you. I have no idea who you are. Do you want to get in this video to like collab with me? Kind of like what Joseph's saying. And it's like, you know, if you didn't even know who I was, like, I think those people are super annoying. Those are the types of content creators at YCSs that really bother me, because it's just like, they just don't see you as a person. They see you as a number, and it's just
an opportunity.
Really frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't know how you.
I'm always willing to help out with people though. Like, there's some guy that at a YCS, he was doing a trade up challenge, and I think I like
yeah. No, that guy was fine though. That guy was fine.
I don't think he knew who I was.
Backtrack.
He was looking to make a video, and I was like, let me help you out, man. And
that specific guy is okay, but the other was okay.
Because like the thing is like.
He was nice about it,
right?
Are
we all gonna act like we never had like channels with less than 1,000 subscribers? Like, we were all there at some point. Like, it's hard to.
I got that
to get out there and do things.
I got that MCOL 40 guest upload. I know what it's like to be in the trenches.
Oh yeah, the guest uploads. I got the Underworld 667 one, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I think it's
we were
still
grinding.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Plays only solitaire decks.
I don't like them.
I don't care.
Every deck's a solitaire deck though now,
Yeah,
so
I
it
think it's
doesn't
kind
really
of
matter.
harmless. I think that's just what like the game is, kind of like. Like, what's the alternative? You're gonna play stun, whole bunch of trap cards. Like,
I guess
that is true.
Make you a better person. Like,
the branded warrior.
I hate.
I don't
Brandon,
like
so
you.
I'm put him in the woods.
I don't like you. I won't put him in woods.
I don't.
But
what this
I
is
don't
totally
like
harmless.
No, there are certain.
I don't like branded Andes. I hate them.
there are
it's the
certain
worst. They
archetypes.
talk about it all the time.
Yes.
Everything is from the perspective of a branded player. They're in the cave with branded. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Like,
Only plays one deck. W, right?
Branded
Okay,
warrior.
let's be chill. Let's be
Is that
chill.
the branded warrior?
No, it's a W, right? Only
that's a
plays one
W if it's a cool deck. I love people that have
We'll
pet
call
decks
it
and play them.
Shmexo's sister.
Schmeckshow sister. Do you disagree,
nothing wrong
Joseph?
with
Is it not
picking a
W?
deck.
No, that's fine. I don't care.
Okay. Gets insanely salty when they make an error.
Couldn't imagine.
never
someone
Couldn't
made
making
an
imagine.
error.
Yeah, that's just me, right? Like,
I think it's harmless. I don't know. I think you're allowed to get angry when you make mistakes and stuff like that.
Insanely? No,
Not
I
like,
think
okay,
I know
okay,
like what you're
insanely salty.
describing.
Maybe I'm not seeing the extremity of it, but like
I'd say
I get a
kinda
little bit bent out of
cringe,
shape too. Like, if I make a glaring issue, I'm like, wow, that was really stupid, bro. I'll like beat myself up about it. But
The person that suddenly the misplay has caused them to derail the duel, where now they're only focusing on that. This happens every Pack Dash episode, by the way. But now they're only focusing on that misplay and like nothing else, and it makes it like actively more difficult to play against them. That is kind of frustrating.
yeah, I think the insanely point is the key word here. Rage quits when their hand is not good.
I don't like that kind of person.
Yeah, I think it's really
I guess like
annoying.
what if it's a tournament? I'm like, hell yeah, dude, scoop it up. But if it's like, I don't know, I don't really care.
Like, what we're talking
like, what
rage quits. We're
context are we-
like grumble, refuse the handshake, get up from the table and leave, like that kind of rage quit, or like.
Well, it
is he
seems
just
like are you just
conceding?
talking like people on Master Duel that leave immediately? Like rage quit, I feel like implies video game to me, but
Okay.
I see it as harmless, right? It's like, oh, I'm just getting a free win, I suppose. But if that's how you want to, like, not even attempt to try and play the game, then it's up to you. Always asks for trades.
Oh, a guy's trading in a trading card game? Yeah, that's pretty cringe.
Key term being always, I suppose, Doug.
So I don't carry a binder. I don't have like a trade binder or anything. So, you know, whenever I get asked, I just say I don't have a binder. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with always that. I mean, if you're really pushy about it, maybe. But people just want to try. I mean, it's a trading card game, right?
I mean, we were just talking about, isn't there somebody else on this chart only collects cards? It's totally harmless. Like, maybe this guy, he goes to the shop to make some good deals, shake some hands, get some cards. Maybe that's like how he enjoys the game. I think that's totally harmless. Yeah.
Not W? No?
I'm willing to go.
I don't think
I wouldn't say
it's
W,
not like. Yeah, but I'd say
but I'd
it's
say
not like
it's harmless.
W's like elevated, right? I mean,
Only plays bad decks. For me, this is
Harmless,
go
who
or
cares?
W. Wait, what? No. Come on.
Oh.
Do you know they're bad decks, or are you like convinced it's the best deck in the room? Like,
No, they
Are
know
like,
they know they're playing a bad deck.
they know their deck is bad.
Oh,
Okay,
then
that's
W,
kind of a W.
yeah.
That's a W.
I
yeah.
think that's fun when someone, like King Scarlet with Appliancer and stuff
Yeah,
like
or
that.
like
they
I'm
really
playing
commit
super
to the
defense
bit.
robos because I like the super defense robos.
That
yeah,
guy's
go
a
off.
I
fraud,
think that's
by
fun.
the way. Scarlet hasn't posted an appliancer list in like 2 years, legitimately. I don't know if he's just
Right,
like,
because it's not a
he's-
deck. Did you know that? It's not a deck.
He's playing he's playing Goblin Fiendsmith right now.
plays only stun.
This is I don't like these type of people, bro. Because
No, yeah,
in my
no.
experience, the type of person that only plays stun, I've had this happen to me, Mystic Mindburn era, right? This guy literally looks me in my face at a locals that I go to, and he goes every week with the same stun deck, and he goes, I don't care what your cards do, just play your turn, and then let me play mine.
They're so high and mighty, aren't they?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
especially
he
at
he
locals.
literally says, I don't
like-
care what your deck does, because people they'd interact with him. They'd be like, do you have a response? Do you this? And he started telling people before the game even starts, he's like, I don't have anything to respond to your plays. Just play your turn, and then I will play mine.
I am
and then
playing-
that's like,
Stun players
I
can
am
be very
playing
pompous.
board breaker stun. Do not ask me for a response.
it was crazy, dude. It's crazy. Like, how can you? Why are you even there? Like, why are you even there? Are you even
Some
playing
people
Yu-Gi-Oh
just
at that
want to
point?
piss other
Like,
people off. Like they're epic trolling, Gage. You got trolled. You're still thinking about it.
Nah,
I am.
got you.
I am.
I'm completely on the opposite end of this, dude. I think this is a go or a W. I think if you only
Wow.
play stun,
No way.
One of my
That's because you are this person now.
Now-
You've decided to become this person.
Oh, did you watch my last video? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I watched my Farfa video. I'm a glorious Farfa viewer.
One of my fondest memory is learning to play Yu-Gi-Oh and getting into the game with this dude who was like 45, 50 years old or something. We used to call him Mirror Force John. He only played Fossil Dyna Stun. He just had Thunder King, every Mirror Force in his deck. The Majesty's Fiend, when that was released, that was like the biggest addition to his deck. And he was the nicest guy ever, dude. These people,
That's,
the terminal stun players
will s-
are usually older dudes. They come with their kid or something, you know, and they're just playing.
I mean, this
stun.
is someone at my locals.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember playing against him, like, every week, and I was just like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, you're super nice, and I like bantering, but, like, your decks are so fucking annoying. And it's like, but I think what Gage is talking about is, like, the other half. Because I feel like a lot of the stun players out there are actually, like, very full of themselves and think they're, like, proving the game, or, like,
Yeah,
I don't even know, like,
they do
they're
give
going
a bad
against the
image
concept
for our
of the
community. Sorry, it's
Right.
the stun
I don't
community.
Remember, this might sound hyper specific. Does anybody know that clip of like there's an old guy playing Yu-Gi-Oh and like he is locked the fuck in and he like flips this mirror force and everyone around him like loses their fucking
No,
mind?
can you find that? That
Does
sounds
any-
insane.
I was looking for it. I'm gonna try to find it for you because I feel like you'd love it.
All right, well,
If I find it, I'll send it in the
I
chat.
think it's 3-1 here. I'm on W tier. You guys are all on don't like you.
I'm on. No, I
That's
don't like
crazy.
this.
I know I'm
that's
on
W tier.
kind of cringe.
Middle ground kind of cringe.
I'm okay
Yeah,
with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Uses their interaction ASAP.
Who cares?
Yeah. harmless.
Yeah, I do like free wins. That is appreciated.
Yeah, harmless. We've got bends your cards when reading them.
I don't like you.
No.
Don't like you. This is
this
woods.
person
Like,
should get
fuck you.
killed, but also I do appreciate they're not really around anymore.
Nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah, I
people
think
are
that
really
was way
bad
more
at handling
common
cards.
10
There's
years
like one known player who I'm not gonna mention, pretty famous in the community. He like doesn't know how to like hold cards. Like dueling against
Blim
them.
blim.
Like,
Wait, okay. Someone that's not on this tier list. What about? Okay, I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm not. I promise I'm not. But what about the people that have like really long, gross nails? I feel so uncomfortable
no, I
when they
hate
touch
that,
cards. Like I don't know. I keep my nails like basically as short as they possibly can be, but
Yeah.
like. I like you can have longer nails than me. I don't really care, but when it's like clearly they haven't been kept up, and they're I don't know. That just cut your
Just a
nails.
hygiene
Cut
thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
keep
symptom of
your-
a greater problem. It's a hygiene, right? It's connected to other things usually. Like, why would you keep long nails unless it's like an aesthetic thing, as like, you know, the female type of aesthetic that you're going for?
Yeah,
whatever, that's fine.
You'll never get to the spot with. Anyways,
The female type of aesthetic.
I don't know how to describe it. You know what I mean? Like, it's.
Oh, I think I do
Women
know
have
what you mean.
longer nails typically, right? Anyway,
Bitches be having nails.
getting their hair done at locals. Constant illegal plays. Does not know their deck.
kind of cringe. I think if if it's on your opponent to catch every single illegal play you make because you don't even know what you're doing, I think that's like really annoying to play against. Like, I don't know.
Have you guys ever had to basically like coach your opponent into like playing?
Yes.
Like at a duel, it's annoying.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like you feel kind of bad because like they're usually kind of newer to the game and stuff, you know. But they are like
I
literally.
think we
just...
actually did coaches you during the game earlier.
At some point, if you know like they're brand new to the game, do you just let them make the illegal plays, knowing that?
No.
Like,
No. But I am nicer. That's different.
mean,
I just mean someone that's like, you know, a regular competitive player that just happens to like not show up prepped enough and they're like reading their cards during the tournament. I think you have some sort of obligation to at least know what the hell. Okay, I realize this is ironic coming from me, but remember, I play differently in real life. I read everything 6 times, but I think it's your obligation as a player to show up to a tournament and at the very least know what your cards do. Like, I think that is like the bare minimum that you should have. You should not be figuring out how the game works during the game.
I'm gonna like go back and rewatch this and type it out and copy pasta it the next time that we show up together for Pack Dash. Constant illegal. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Where are we putting that? I think it's.
I don't know.
It depends. Like if
I mean, I think it's kind of cringe. I
think
don't
it's
think
kind
it's
of cringe.
harmless.
I don't think it's harmless. I
Yeah.
think it's kind of cringe though.
Yeah.
only play 60 card decks. I'm
Who
gonna
cares?
say that
Whatever.
for me personally, Woods, I have small like little girl hands. Holding a deck that's double sleeved, that's 60 cards, I'd fucking hate you.
Farfa,
Oh,
that's
I don't
a you
double sleeve.
problem. You needed more testosterone in the womb. That's not this branded player's problem.
I don't. Do you guys double sleeve your cards? I don't double
No.
sleeve.
No.
I double
No,
sleeve.
I-
I double sleeve my extra deck, and sometimes the main if it's like a major event, I'll double sleeve.
Oh, I have done extra deck a couple times. No, Gage, I'm firmly in the camp of you. Like, back in the day, no one double sleeved like expensive cards,
Well,
so
'cause it
I
was
don't
illegal.
double sleeve expensive
Yeah.
cards.
I mean, I also I'm like you, Farfa. I have small hands, so like it does get uncomfortable when you get a double sleeve deck. It's too much.
Dude,
it's too much.
how do you shovel a 60 card double sleeve deck? I divide them into like 2 or 3 vials,
a lot
that's
of
what I
people
do.
do that, yeah.
like 2 mini decks.
You know what my
I didn't know
favorite
you
thing
all
about
had
60
this
card decks is?
struggle.
I think this is like,
Oh, sorry. Not
I think
all
this
of us
is
have
borrowed
a big,
from
giant
Magic.
cock, Joseph.
I love when people
Yeah,
have a
come on.
big deck and then they take, when they search, they pick up only the top half. So that
Yeah,
they don't have to
that's
like.
weird.
I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, I love it because then if I don't find it in the top half, I feel like the biggest asshole in the universe.
Exactly.
I'm like, fuck.
It's like Resolve like Fiendsmith Tract, and they pick up like the top like third of their deck. It's like, you really are gambling here, you know? Like, so where are we putting this? Probably harmless.
I think it's
Yeah, who
harmless,
cares?
Timer stallers is Woods, right?
I mean, do we even have to say
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, I didn't even have to talk
like,
about that one.
obviously Woods.
Redditor.
I'm not on Reddit, so I'm not able to
What
like
do you,
accurately
what do you
judge
mean
these
by that?
people.
What do you
I
mean?
don't
I don't-
know.
Like
The
like
Reddit community used to not like me a lot back in the day, but now they've come around, so I don't want to be too mean.
Well,
Like,
you were an asshole, so
Lots
you
of people
deserved it.
use Reddit. Lots of people use Reddit. I don't think that's that. I think just being on Reddit, I think, is like harmless. I don't know.
Does not talk when playing.
Oh, I hate that shit. I think
I
that's
don't like
super
this
annoying.
at all.
I hate this
Yeah.
too.
When I was younger, this actually like would actively throw me off. I remember I played against like this pro player at a YCS and I was killing it. I was like really doing well and he just like didn't say a single word and just mumbled and it like really threw me off. Like it took me out of it. Nowadays like I don't really care, but as a kid like that really bothered me.
No, speak up. The game is like, especially
It's a
if you're in
social
person.
game.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a social
it's a
game.
social
Like you're
game.
meant to
Yeah.
like interact with your opponent. Like do it. Like that's part of the prerequisite.
I'd put that in I don't like you. Like it's not like the worst thing you can do, but like it just rubs me in the wrong way.
You ever have somebody put headphones in when they're playing?
Oh,
against
that's
you guys?
Woods tier. No,
I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
choke
Yeah.
somebody out when they do that.
Even
Please
when they
do not
have
ever
like
put
just
headphones in
one
when they're playing
ear
against me.
on. It's like, dude,
Yeah,
come
no,
on.
absolutely not.
it's
ridiculous.
It's like peak disrespectful. Like you won't even afford me like the time of day just to give me.
But
the
you were
attention for this
fine
duel.
with the guy on the phone during the combo, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Coco
Well, because
Melon,
he is
man.
the guy on
Coco
the phone
Melon.
during the combo.
I don't like you. Insists on 40 main, 12 non-engine.
Who cares, man? I don't care
I don't-
about deck
whatever.
building.
What
Who
is
gives a
40
fuck?
main 12 non-end? Is that like a 52 card deck or
12 hand traps. 12 hand
No,
traps.
12 hand
you know,
traps,
like-
40 cards in
Yeah.
the main deck. Probably for like a.
Also,
that's
that's
the type
a-
of person
that's a-
that's like.
Is this like a
This is
DP
the
grant?
Did
optimal
someone
number
else-
because percentages check
Did
out
s-
and stuff like that.
Did someone else make this for you, Farfa?
Let's say you seem surprised at half of these.
Yeah, I didn't make this.
Because 12 non-engine, that's like not enough, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't
Not
know.
anymore.
These
Not anymore.
days.
This is like I made this.
Okay, let's.
I feel like these are the
harmless,
these
right?
are like, yeah, I feel like it's harmless. Those are the type of people that are always like, you play this amount because of the percentages. My Yugioh MathMech calculator allows me to accurately figure out the percentage of drawing 3 copies instead of 2. I feel like
Well,
those are the
so
type of
Gage,
people
the
that
problem
always
the
math it
problem
out.
with that type of player is that they are right.
That's their biggest
I'm just
issue.
vibes based, bro.
Dude, I pull up
I'm
that
vibes.
calculator so much during Balatro. It's actually very helpful.
I don't know, man. I feel like some people are really good at the game and they don't seem to care. Like I always look at Herman's deck list and he's just like 53 cards, just piles and like. Just,
Okay, well, we can't all be him.
there doesn't
right?
seem to be
shit.
like much math behind it, but that's always like.
Well,
very-
That sounds
have
like
you
every
asked him if there's
European
math
deck I
behind
see.
it?
I haven't asked, but generally every time I've spoken to him about deck building, he does seem like a vibes type of guy, which is based. Which is
There's
very
nothing
based.
wrong
Sure.
with that.
Yeah.
Like, if your technical play is so good and you can see like
Yeah.
overall concepts like he does, I think, you know, especially someone like him that's played a million weird decks.
Yeah.
Clearly, he knows what
Yeah.
he's doing.
W. Gives verbal replay of their match every round. We're very much like going to be.
I hate this,
It's
bro.
just kind of like we can't be.
Yeah, I
it
don't
is
like hate
annoying,
'em.
but it's kind.
No.
of.
No,
I
'cause, like,
don't like.
I
it.
always
No.
ask. I do ask. I don't like it, but the thing is, like, when I ask the question at a tournament, I say, "How is your tournament going?" I
That's
expect
crazy
you
that
to
you
tell
asked
me.
that, by
I
the
expect you to tell me I'm having a fun time.
Yeah.
But 90% of the time, it leads into, "Let me tell you about my last round."
You're
bro.
doing
It's
that. You
not
don't have
going
to
well."
ask them
Sorry,
how it's
you
going.
just have to. You have to get a better question. That sounds like you
Yeah.
want me to
So-
give you a verbal breakdown.
I'll just learn how to talk to people. I guess I'll figure that out.
Yep. No, it's as a content
not a
creator, I think that it's particularly egregious. You know, love all the people that.
Well,
wanna
we
say
hear it
hi.
more than anyone, right?
Yeah,
Like just
taking pictures, signing cards, all good. But then it's like, you know, how's your tournament going? You having fun? And then it's like, okay, so round 3, this is my opening hand. Oh, actually no, it wasn't that. Let me think. Oh yeah, it was this hand trap. So I normal summon this guy, and then it's just a full dueling book replay of the past 30 plays, and I'm just like,
okay, but consider this. At Nats, a couple people did this to me about modern format, and even after I was like, "Oh, I haven't read a card in a year," they're like, "Oh, okay. So here's what Malice does."
and then they go,
That wasn't an invitation. That wasn't an invitation.
so Doug is not only getting the full replay, he's getting the description of every card.
Yeah, I'm catching up. I'm catching up live without seeing any of the cards. Yeah, it's great. Love it.
Where are we putting this?
It's kind of.
I don't like that person. I don't like you. I don't like these type of people. It's me. I don't know if you guys are okay with it, but
Yeah, I don't like is maybe strong, but it is kind of cringe.
I mean, ask me at the end of a YCS versus right now, right? No, I don't love that.
Joseph?
But I think most people are just like they don't have someone to talk to, so they're just telling someone that'll listen.
Joseph?
I'm fine with it. Whatever.
we'll go. Can we go kind of cringe? Meet in the middle there.
All right.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little.
Guide creators.
Are these like the spreadsheet guys? Is that what we're referring to?
Absolutely. Yeah. Or
They're
like
doing a service to the world,
the
right?
spreadsheeters.
W.
The huge W. Like
Did you guys ever buy a spreadsheet? Did you guys ever buy
No.
a spreadsheet?
no. Goat, surely?
No, I've
Do we
never
not think
bought
goat?
I
Hold
don't
on.
think
When
so.
did Watch's Farfa end up in the goat? That must have slipped.
I
by.
don't even. I think you're way overvaluing the guide creators. Like I think nowadays people like gatekeep information like behind these classes.
No.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
like-
Maybe like the
yeah,
top
so
end players.
I just.
I think that's like kind of cringe.
No.
What are you
lot of
describing when you talk about guide creators?
Dude, like the people who like put together like the Dragoonity spreadsheet combo, right? Like they're absolute goats, right? Because they're remember like 80% of the player base are just super casuals who just kind of dabble with some pet decks, and they want to find some resources.
Those people are not buying spreadsheets.
We're not talking about
Yeah.
paid spreadsheets. We're talking about guides. Like there are free guides online. There are free spreadsheets.
Well, that's what I was asking. I said, are we talking about spreadsheet
sure
people?
then.
And you said
Yeah,
yes.
those
No,
are
I think
great-
they're dumb.
they're
Like I
fun.
think
well,
about
spreadsheet. I
guys
said
that
yes to
find-
spreadsheets, Gage. I didn't mention anything about monetization.
So this is like not
Okay.
spreadsheets, but I find like Duel Daddy on Twitter, his guides to be very
Oh,
helpful
set
for
stuff?
someone that's
Yeah.
like
Duel,
out
Duel Daddy,
because it's
one
like
of the greatest.
How can you not say that
it's like
guy isn't
four.
goated?
pictures.
He
It's
is
like
good.
4
He is good.
pictures of like, here's like the basic interactions of a deck. Here's like the basic spots that you hand trap. Super helpful for someone that's like out of the game.
Yeah.
No,
Like-
I do think that's goated. I think the opposite of like paywalling information a lot of times, I do think that's like kind of cringe. But I do think people that just create the guides because they're genuinely like passionate about whatever they're sharing, those people are goats. W.
And even like the people who are paywalling all the guides and stuff, it's like, look, I ain't buying that. I don't care about it. But I guess I'm happy a service like that exists because there clearly is demand
If
for it.
people want it,
right?
I mean,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So if you want to pay to up your game to that level, I think it's fine. It's good, right? If anything, that a service like that exists. It's such a common thing in Pokemon TCG, for example. So I don't see any issue with it being a big thing in Yu-Gi-Oh.
All right, I'm willing to go for GOAT status then. I can do that. I'm just saying, when I go purchase Card Sharp Pro from Josh Graham,
Oh my
laughing
god,
their
dude.
fucking ass off at that. Nobody wanted to buy that shit, but now,
Dude,
now
I'm
all of a
so
sudden
glad my
he's a
mom
goat.
did not let me
Now
get
all
that
of a
as a
sudden he's
kid.
goat.
Like, holy shit.
Card Shark Pro.
Card Sharp Pro. Come on, you got to remember that, bro.
Hentai sleeves and mat.
Gage, how do you feel about
Goated.
these?
Dude, why are you asking me, Doug? Why are you asking me?
Wait, Gage, did you used to ever have like lewd sleeves? You did, right?
No.
No,
Right now.
He's currently
No, I'm
being
just-
dragged for liking women.
I have a VTuber field center that people think are a little bit too racy, and I think those people
No, they're
are
fine.
crazy.
They're fine.
I don't know. I think like there are people like
have to see
the
it.
hentai sleeves and mat. Have you ever had somebody wear like a Hego hoodie to like locals?
Dude,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
cringiest shit in
Like,
the
some people
world.
are just
Holy
genuinely
fuck.
unaware, and it is so awful to like try to interact with some of these people that just don't get it. Like,
Dude,
they-
seeing like a 25-year-old smelly... dude, I can't stand those hoodies. I think ironically it's stupid. I think every time I've seen
Yeah.
someone wear one of those, I'm like, you're a piece of shit. I don't know. I think that's like the cringiest shit you could possibly do. I think it's
no,
horrible.
the hentai stuff is ridiculous.
Not like morally, but just from like, you're a loser. I don't know.
This might be the Muslim in me
I'm sure
as
some
well
people
talking
are.
just now, but even just like the slightly lewd stuff that's clearly like, custom made and it's like, you've got like Alexis cleavage or something. I just think that's
well,
like just as bad. I mean,
let me show you something. I had a playmat, and I admitted this was for the collab that we did earlier. That's gonna go up soon. I had a Gurren Lagann playmat, an anime one, and I never watched Gurren Lagann. I only had the map because the girl had big bazongas on it, and I was. I loved it, so I'm gonna show
Like,
you this
Gage, you're
playmat, and I
allowed
want
to
you know
like
if this is-
boobs. Like,
Well, yeah,
that's
I want you to
okay.
know
I'll
if
give
this,
you the pass.
I want to know if this is like a hard, like this is too much. Like we cannot have this. But I
Yeah,
thought it was
okay.
pretty tame.
This one's fine.
I had that one, and I was just like, that's like, I think that's the farthest I've ever gone with like Gooner material on my. on my
What is
balance.
what's bad about this? This is not what I thought you would send at all. Like, this
Oh.
is just a picture.
I mean,
Well, see, I
the-
don't think it was
the
that bad,
thing
but people were
peak-
calling me a Gooner. People were up in arms about
it's
it.
kind of goony, right? Like, it's like, the shocked
No,
face with the thing popping out the breasts. Like, it's a little goony. Come on.
Oh, is that like a guy? What is that?
It's a little
What?
mole.
Little mole.
Yeah, a little mole
What's popping out between that breast?
It's a
It's
mole.
a little rat.
Little
a
guy.
Little
mole?
guy.
Well, okay,
I
let
don't
me
know.
ask you. This is the one I used for the longest time, and I thought it was fine, but I did get some flack on it.
Jesus, wow,
Okay,
we're
I'm
doing a
curious
live goon. That one's fine in my opinion.
Yeah, that one's okay.
All right, this one got included
my God.
twice here. Anything to change or review? Anything we grossly disagree on? This looks like a good tier list. I think if you guys watching from
Put watches Farfa lower. Put watches Farfa
Yeah,
way
did you
lower.
finish
Yeah,
this
that was
video?
good.
Absolutely, Woods tier. How did you fucking do that, bro? You have no standards.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of bias is going to be uncovered in the comment section. You're probably all going to realize most of us hate poor people, apparently. At least for myself.
I know I
You guys, hold on. I never said anything about that.
All right, thanks so much everyone for tuning in. If you have any stories of such, what are they called? Tangents to share. Let us know in the comment section. I'll be sure to definitely scroll past it when looking at the analytics for this video. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate the Wonky Quartet for coming in for a different type of collab this time. No Yu-Gi-Oh was played. The best type of Yu-Gi-Oh video. Thanks everyone. We'll see you in the next one.